suspended right now, 9.5 points per game, averaging 4 assists per game to lead the team. So a big loss for UVA, who is playing a little bit shorthanded today as well, with Mir McLean out for the rest of the season as well with a knee injury. First points up and in for Dontavia Waggoner, who's been the leading scorer for Boston College, certainly over the last couple of games, and we are underway. Carol Miller getting the start today, puts up a floater in the lane, and an offensive foul is drawn. Maria Gakdang took the charge, and Sam Brunel also hit the deck there.
Sam, BC is starting in a zone. If you watched Virginia, North Carolina, which was Virginia's last game on Thursday, the Cavaliers really struggled against that UNC zone. Coach Mock said we expect BC to play us zone as well, and that's what we're seeing so far.
Yeah, both these teams coming off some disappointing losses. UVA losing to UNC this past Thursday. They led in that game. It was a bad fourth quarter. And then Boston College losing to Syracuse at home on Thursday as well. Andrea Daly will put up a long two, and that's well short. Waggoner racing for the rebound. The shot clock went off. I thought that might have hit the rim there, but
I thought so too. That was interesting that it didn't reset. I think Coach Mack is probably pleading her case a little bit there. But Sam, you talk about both of these teams coming off of losses. I still think this game, and it's only January, I know, but I love talking brackets anytime, any place. This game is pretty bubblicious. UVA right now on the right side of the bubble. Boston College, with the week they had last week, beating Florida State and beating NC State, could they play themselves onto the bubble? I think it's very possible.
No question about it, especially after the year they had last year, being on the bubble at the end of the season. So already out to a 3-3 start, couple of impressive wins like we talked about in the top of the show. That's an impressive shot from Andrea Daly, the 6-foot sophomore from Miami, Florida, averaging 11 points a game.
Every single player that is going to take the floor for Boston College this afternoon can score. They have 6 players averaging double figures. All 5 of their starters are averaging double figures, and their balance is what makes them very difficult to guard.
So the Who's start 0 for 2 from the floor. There's a shot off the mark from Dontavia Waggoner. And a one-on-two here, Alexia Smith. Tough shot in transition, no good. Here comes Taina Mayer working it the other way. 2-on-1, Mayer bounce pass to JoJo Lacey. No good from point-blank range. Out of bounds will stay with BC.
That was a heck of a pass by Taina Mayer. And Taina Mayer is a player you need to get to know. She's only a freshman. She is averaging nearly 11 points per game, 5 boards, and 7.3 assists. She is leading the ACC in assists. When we talk about assists in this league, generally your first thought is Olivia Miles. Well, Olivia Miles is second in the ACC in assists. And Taina Mayer, the young freshman for BC, has that mantle right now.
A couple assists away from breaking the all-time freshman record at Boston College as well. We may see that broken here in this game. Another record to keep an eye on in this game. Sam Brunel 5 points away from 1,000 for her career. Number 33 in orange today.
Virginia foul on number 44, McKenna Dale. That's her first personal. Second Cavalier team foul. Checking in for your Cavaliers, number 5.
1 assist away from breaking the record right now. Just tied the record with that assist earlier in this one. So 1 more assist will break the freshman record.
And Sam, I'm more interested with Mayer with the Boston College single season record regardless of class, because she's already broken the freshman record in January, or she's tied it. The overall record is 230, which she's on pace to do. So at this point with Taina Mayer, I don't even care about freshman records because she's that good. We're going for the real deal. We're going for the overall record. Let's see what Virginia can do against this zone. Coach Mock said the main thing she wants to see from her team is getting scoring opportunities in the second level of that zone. Basically inside the ACC logo, getting the ball to Cam Taylor and Brunel in those situations. And the way they can open that up is knocking down some threes. Virginia struggled to shoot threes against North Carolina, and that was why that zone was effective.
Foul going against Sam Brunel, her first. And the team third already, so Virginia getting into a bit of foul trouble in the first couple of minutes of this first quarter.
And Sam, that's what Boston College does. They average 20 free throw attempts per game. That's second in the league. They will attack you. They want to get to the rim, put pressure on you. Something to keep an eye on because Virginia is down Valladay and, of course, down Mir McLean, who's out for the year. Foul trouble could be a concern for the Hoos.
Saw Maria Gakdane getting a couple words from head coach Joanna Burnaby-McNamee in her 5th season at Boston College. Of course, Coach Mox for UVA in her first season got this program off to their best start since the 91-92 season, going undefeated in preseason play. Tough start on the offensive side for UVA. Taina Mayer with a pull-up jumper. Talk about her and what she does dishing out the ball, but she also scores 11 points per game. And a real good start for Boston College, out to a 6-0 lead here in the early going in Charlottesville.
Gatorade Fit.
All right, first 7 possessions for UVA, 0 for 4 from the floor, 3 turnovers, Kelly. What is BC doing and how does UVA get the offense going?
BC is in that 2-3 zone, and what Virginia has to do is get to the second level of that zone and get the ball to Cam Taylor, their leading scorer. They did this against North Carolina back on Thursday night when UNC played the zone. They get a one-on-one situation for her, and she's able to score. However, that's the good news. The bad news is in 24 possessions against North Carolina's zone on Thursday night, Virginia scored on 3 of them. That's according to Synergy. If you're Boston College, you see those numbers, Sam, it's a no-brainer. You got to play the zone, and you have to force Virginia to prove they can score against it.
And Boston College, one of the better defensive teams, at least at forcing turnovers. They lead the league, forcing over 20 turnovers a game. The other part of that is Boston College also turns the ball over 20 times a game. So it's starting to be a little bit of a trend here. 4 turnovers for UVA in the first quarter.
And Sam, the other part of trying to get the ball inside to Cam Taylor, on that previous possession, Taylor had decent position, but Dontavia Waggoner and her defense on the ball made it impossible for Virginia to pass the ball inside to Taylor. So the length of BC's guards is also, so far, being very disruptive in that Eagle zone. Daly
taking the 3, falls short, and Alexia Smith to lead the break. So you look at the turnovers for both of these teams, it has been a bit of a struggle. 20.3 turnovers a game is the most in the conference, and UVA almost 19 turnovers, not too much better. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on here today.
Boston College is a little more active defensively than Virginia in general and is able to force a few more turnovers, but both of these teams have had issues with turning the ball over, and it has prevented them from wins in certain cases.
There's Cam Taylor getting her first points of the game. Again, leading this team now 12.5 points per game. Like you said, Kelly struggled to get shots off against UNC, had 9 points, 4 boards. She only took 5 shots in that game. Did not attempt a shot in the first half against North Carolina, and there's a travel and the 5th turnover for Boston College.
And she was in foul trouble in that game a little bit as well, but that's the other key for UVA. They aren't the best three-point shooting team, so that's one of the issues against the zone. But if you can grab offensive rebounds, and they lead the ACC in offensive rebounds per game, that can be a game changer against a zone.
Down to Vaughn, her first shot from beyond the arc today, and a whistle underneath. Foul going against McKenna Dale of Virginia. Team's 4th foul, and McKenna Dale's 2nd. So she will head to the bench. Already a short bench here for UVA today, Kelly.
Right, and that's 2 kind of random fouls on her. The first foul they called was a moving screen when she was trying to set the flare screen a couple possessions ago. So that's going to be tough. As Coach Mox told us, they already have a short bench without McLean and without Valladay. Now she's really having to dig deep.
Corner jumper from Waggoner, no good. Offensive rebound. Gakdane gets it out to Waggoner, who drives and gets fouled. Gakdane's been active on the O board so far today.
What a rebound by Maria Gakdane. And then the presence of mind to look back and find a cutting Dontavia Waggoner. She could have just decided to force it and tried to draw a foul and go back up with it, but she looked for her teammate there, and both Dontavia and Maria Gactain sporting new hairstyles. We'll get to that, Sam.
We sure will. Here's next Saturday's college basketball doubleheader. Matt Cleveland leads Florida State against Jamarius Burton and Pitt in our first game at 3 o'clock. Then it's off to the Dean Smith Center for Caleb Love, North Carolina, hosting Terquavion Smith and NC State, who, by the way, are coming off a huge win against Miami yesterday. Another Tobacco Road rivalry matchup. Should be a great afternoon of hoops right here on the ACC network. You can always watch it on the ESPN app as well. First foul on JoJo Lacey. Inbounds underneath for UVA, trying to get it inside to London Clarkson.
Great job by Gactain to recover, knock that ball out of Clarkson's hands, knock her off that spot.
UVA has started 1 for 8 from the field. That shot is blocked by Maria Gactain.
Another great defensive play. Gactain set the BC freshman record for blocks last year. Actually, I think it was the single season record. So you see what she can do inside defensively.
Taina Mayer is so great off the bounce, isn't she, Kelly? I mean, that's an underrated part of her game, being able to shoot off the dribble. That's a good shot there by Kaydan Lawson, her first points.
She's very quick, and she has become so much more poised since the beginning of the season. She's only a freshman, and it's tough to take over point guard duties as a freshman, but she's done a great job. And speaking of freshmen, Tiana Todd is in the game for BC, number 30. She has not played since November 30th. She's also a double-figure scorer for them, so a good sign that she's back.
Good sign for JoJo Lacey to get it going from beyond the arc, shooting 32%. That's her 32nd made 3 of the year, and Boston College takes a 12-4 lead. Waggoner fighting for the rebound with Clarkson, and Clarkson wins the battle. Alexia Smith takes it inside, but she travels.
Here's another look at BC just working against Virginia. JoJo Lacey flares out, able to set her feet and knock it down. She leads this BC team in threes made. Virginia just not able to find any rhythm so far, Sam. Nothing at all. And then on the other side, BC, I think their depth and their balance is really showing through right now.
Foul against London Clarkson. She'll get some words of encouragement there from Amaka Agugwa-Hamilton, Coach Mox, in her first season.
I'm not sure what you say, Sam. I'm not sure what you say in terms of trying to score on Maria Gactain. I don't know what kind of words of encouragement you give her there, because Maria Gactain has such great size and is such a great shot blocker inside.
Coach Mox returning back home to the Commonwealth after serving as the head coach at Missouri State for the past 3 seasons. And I thought it was great talking to her, because this team was undefeated in preseason play and now kind of experiencing some adversity. And her teams at Missouri State won, and they won a lot. So now coming here, trying to rebuild this Virginia program to the seasons alike of the early 90s, mid-90s, early 2000s even. As Gactain spins in the lane, nice move.
Cam Taylor scores on one end, and Gactain says, give me the ball, I'm gonna go score on the other end. So these two post players going at each other right now.
And Taylor gets bumped by Maria Gactain. That's her first foul. We talked about some of the absences for UVA today. But how much did Mir McLean and does Mir McLean mean to this team, and how does that change how they look as a team?
She means everything to this team. This is such an unfortunate injury, of course, for Mir, and we wish her a speedy recovery, but for Virginia as well. At the time of her injury, she was their leading scorer and their leading rebounder, averaging nearly a double-double. And especially against a zone, Sam, you miss her presence. You miss her athleticism. You miss her offensive rebounding ability. She'd run short corner, and she was able to make plays down there in the second half of the zone in that lower area. So they miss her greatly, and I know she's in good spirits, but injuries are just one of the worst parts of the game.
It's a good job by Carol Miller to penetrate the zone there. Cam Taylor with the offensive board puts it back up and in. So UVA, a little bit of life here as Kaydan Lawson couldn't keep that inbounds.
And it's been Cam Taylor that's given them life, Sam. She's 3 for 3. She's got 6 points. She's really demanding the basketball. She's grabbing offensive rebounds. She has been Virginia's offense today. She's got 6 of their 8 points. But for her, knowing Valladay's out, knowing Mir McLean's out, she understands that this team needs her to take probably 10, 12 shots in this game and give them 20 points. I mean, I think she's aware of that, and I love how aggressive she's being.
Yeah, Cam Taylor 3 for 3. The rest of the team 1 for 11. Shot clock winding down. Mayer will try for 3. No good, and the rebound for Kaydan Lawson. Looking quickly up the floor. Yanta Vaughn gets into the low post. Can't finish. Yeah, great to see Tiana Todd back there, number 30 for Boston College. You mentioned it, the injury. Hasn't played in a while. Here's her first shot of the game, and it's a little bit long. Might take her a little bit of time to get back into the groove of things, Kelly, but no question about it, she's one of the more talented freshmen in the league.
Oh, she is, for sure. When you pair her with Taina Mayer, that is a great freshman duo that's going to be excellent for BC for years to come.
Cam Taylor open in the low post. Too many steps, though. A couple of times UVA's gotten it down low and some unforced mistakes there.
From Boston College holding for the last shot here, Sam, as you were probably going to mention there with the timing. You've dominated this first quarter. Make sure you hold on for this last possession.
10 seconds to go. Shot clock is off. Inside, Allie Van Timmeren. Nice post move. Can't finish, though. Kaydan Lawson with the ball behind the back. Looking for help. Shot was off. Might have been in time, but not going to fall. And Boston College with a 7-point lead after the first break. We got a lot more action coming up from Charlottesville next.
Next season on Fansville, presented by Dr. Pepper.
A Category 5 win
in Raleigh, and then prove it's not a fluke. Taina Mayer saying bye-bye to Florida State. I think what was really impressive about Boston College in that stretch, obviously, to come off the NC State win and not get fat and happy, for lack of a better term, and then go beat Florida State. But what they did defensively and what Taina Mayer specifically did to Taniyah Latson. Latson, who has been arguably the best player in the entire league, just a freshman for Florida State. They held her to 10 points and forced 5 turnovers, and no one in the country has been able to hold Latson to that. So that was really what impressed me about BC's week.
Yeah, Latson leading the league in scoring, but watch out for Taina Mayer. Not getting the credit that she deserves. And we're talking about her as one of the better players, one of the better freshmen in the league right now.
We have to talk more about her. And if Taniyah Latson didn't exist, then I think Taina Mayer would be my favorite for the Rookie of the Year in the ACC. Obviously, Latson, she's going to run away with it. She's averaging 25 points per game. But what Mayer is doing in all 3 major categories and leading this team as a freshman is really impressive, Sam. And you mentioned it, too. She's a great passer, as you saw right there, but she can score, too.
Of course, the other story for Boston College, they had to replace 5 seniors from last year, including all ACC performers Cam Swartz and Taylor Soule. And you see what Taina Mayer is doing, kind of taking charge.
She is, and when you get easy buckets like this, your team just can get in rhythm. You have more confidence. You feel like you can take a deep breath when you have a lead like this. And I always say it. I mean, people know Coach Mack's a great coach, but Coach Mack can coach. She can flat out coach. When you lose 5 seniors and you have all these freshmen, and Sam, we called the Ohio State game back in November.
Yeah.
The improvement that BC has made from that early game against the number 3 team in the country to now is incredible. That Coach Mack right there, she can coach. I promise you that.
Trying to do what hasn't been done since 2006. Take the Boston College Eagles back to the NCAA tournament. Already a couple of huge wins on the resume so far. And a good start to this one in Charlottesville. Cam Taylor with a little pull-up jumper. Had a good first quarter. Continue it here in the second quarter.
It's all Cam Taylor right now for the Wahoos. She has 8 of their 10 points. She's doing all that she can. Some other players around her have to step up. It would be really good for UVA to get Sam Brunel going. And if they could make 1 or 2 of these 3-pointers, Coach Mox was telling us that Polly and Dale, they shoot the ball really well in practice, but have just struggled in games as of late.
0 for 5 start from beyond the arc for UVA. You can talk about it certainly from a shooter's perspective, Kelly. I mean, confidence is everything, isn't it?
Confidence is everything, especially for a young player. A player like Polly, who's just a freshman, and it can be really frustrating when you're making shots in practice and you're getting up shots after practice, but it's just not translating to the game. And also from a shooter's perspective, you feel that pressure when your team's playing against the zone.
Right.
You know that you have to help. You have to open it up. You have to knock down some threes so they will respect the 3-point shot for the entire team. And that was an issue against North Carolina. You had some of UVA's shooters struggle. And so you almost feel an added pressure to knock down threes when the other team is playing zone.
That UNC loss was tough because the Hoos were right there, but they were outscored 22-2 in the final 6 minutes and 30 seconds of play in that game. As Carol Miller rattles one around, falls out. Offensive rebound and the putback with a foul, London Clarkson.
This is what Virginia needs. They need to rely on the offensive glass. It's what they've been so good at all year. Great job by London Clarkson just to battle inside for that ball, go back up with it, draw the foul. Right now, UVA is giving Cam Taylor a quick breather, so someone else had to step up on the floor, and that was London Clarkson.
Offensive rebounding is huge. That was the 4th of the game for UVA. I loved how Coach Mox put it. She said, rebounds are loose balls. That's what she told us. I thought that was really interesting, you know. A unique way of putting it, but it's true.
I don't know if I'd heard a coach say that before, and we always hear the cliche with loose balls, it's about who wants it more. And so in the end, in Coach Mox's impression, every rebound is about who wants it more.
JoJo Lacey off the mark, follows it up though, puts it up, and won't go. Out of bounds will be Eagles basketball.
That time JoJo Lacey wanted it more, Sam. That was a great presence of mind by her. You know, when you shoot a 3 and you miss it, you're the one who's the most aware of where that rebound's going because you're the one that shot it. So a good job by JoJo Lacey to follow up her shot.
Inbounds knocked down, falls to Dontavia Waggoner. Tries baseline, closed off though by Kaydan Lawson. Great defense for the Hoos. Back the other way, Carol Miller, no good. A 5th offensive rebound, and it's who else? Kaydan Lawson was there. London Clarkson actually the one with the rebound, so she'll go to the line once again. Clarkson knocks down the first. Every Thursday night you can watch Kelly Gramlich and everybody else in studio talk about what's new in ACC women's basketball. This week, Diamond Johnson, number 11 NC State, hosting Haley Cavender in Miami at 6 Eastern. Then it's the rivalry matchup. Number 16 Duke, who is 15-1 right now. They're 5-0 in ACC play, soon to be maybe higher ranked than they are right now. Number 22 North Carolina, led by Deja Kelly, of course. Should be another great night for women's hoops on the ACC Network and the ESPN app.
Sam, I feel like Boston College, especially Dontavia Waggoner, has settled for too many long mid-range shots against Virginia defensively, and that time the Hoos were in a zone. So I think Coach Mack would love to see Dontavia Waggoner pump fake and attack the rim a little more.
A 7-0 run for the Cavaliers over the last 2.5 minutes. They brought it within 4.
And now Virginia playing a little zone as well. Virginia played man for most of the first quarter, but now switching it up with some zone action defensively.
Good pass to Waggoner, who got bumped on the drive to the basket.
And Sam, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Dontavia Waggoner on a previous possession, I think, would have settled for that mid-range, but attack the rim, put pressure on this team that's already using a short bench.
Andrea Daly re-entering the game, and Deanna Todd heading back to the bench. Talk about the impact for Dontavia Waggoner, too. The junior from Nashville, Tennessee, came over from NC State 2 years ago, averaging 18 points per game over the last 3, Kelly.
The improvement that we've seen from Dontavia Waggoner, and a lot of these BC players, I mean, you look at their notes and you see this player's averaging 9 more points per game than last year. This player's averaging 8 because these players just getting more opportunities. But Dontavia Waggoner is someone who has taken full advantage of her new start at Boston College, transferring from NC State. And Coach Mack just can't say enough good things about her and the leadership that she brings.
8 turnovers for UVA. BC has turned it over 9 times. Still hold this 6-point lead. Gacktang fighting for position on Brunel. Gacktang looking for the reverse layup. Oh my goodness.
That is a tough move. That is how you attack the second level of a zone. Right there with Maria Gacktang and her length to finish under the rim. Remind me, Sam, I want to know, I'm going to ask the Boston College SID and their people what Maria Gacktang's wingspan is, because
yeah.
I don't even know where she started, but her arm went completely under the rim.
Clarkson across the paint. She got fouled. Maria Gacktang's had a couple of tough games. The last 2, 4 points against Florida State. Had just 2 points in the loss to Syracuse on Thursday, but Maria Gacktang already with 5 points here in this game today. Welcome back. We got the popcorn going. We got some fries. It's an excellent atmosphere inside John Paul Jones Arena. Has been all year long. Averaging over 3,000 fans per game. And you compare that to years past. Last season, 1,600 a game. And look, Kelly, COVID has something to play in this, no doubt about it. But there's just a new feeling, a vibe around this UVA program right now. And Coach Mox has a lot to do with that. It also helps when you're 13-4.
Exactly, and when I've watched Virginia on film throughout this season, I have noticed their crowds. And I remember playing at Virginia, and the crowd was always very good. This is a historic program. They've made 3 Final Fours. Debbie Ryan built an incredible program here. So great to see the fans coming back to support UVA. We know Charlottesville is a basketball town. Virginia loves their basketball, so it's just very cool to see.
Yeah, look, let's be honest, too. UVA has, as a program, has had success in the past. The last couple of years were not their years. And now it's a different kind of feeling and a much more positive feeling around the program. Tough shot for Mayer. Off the mark, and Kaydan Lawson with the rebound. Brunel driving the paint, 3 points away from 1,000, Kelly.
I like that from Sam Brunel. They came out on her. She was on the three-point line. They're trying to run her off the line because she's such a great three-point shooter. She pump fake, took it to the ACC logo, and knocked it down.
Daly kicks out. Waggoner, long 2. BC has struggled to shoot the ball here in this second quarter, shooting just 23% from the floor. First quarter, different story. They were almost 50%.
Sam Brunel shoots 40% from 3. Of course, you're going to try to run her off that line. She pump fakes, acrobatic move inside, and that's just going to keep the defense honest, Sam. Now they have to think twice. You don't want to let her shoot the 3. She's one of the best shooters in the ACC. But if she can keep you honest, pump fake, put the ball on the floor, that makes her very difficult to guard.
Lacey trying to look inside. Allie Van Timmeren in the game. Maria Gacktang has 2 fouls. Waggoner, another difficult shot. Kaydan Lawson's been playing some great defense as she gets tripped up in the backcourt by Waggoner.
Very good defense by Lawson. And Waggoner has 7 points, but she's 2 for 7 from the field. And they've made every bucket tough for her Waggoner does a great job of moving her feet, staying in front, defending without fouling, and getting the rebound as well.
BC, 1 of their last 11 from the field. Nearly taken away. Alexia Smith has to go back to get it. Extended pressure from Boston College. Onto Vaughn, the pull-up. No good. The one-hand putback for Alexia Smith. How about it?
Wow. I think that was almost a tag team effort. I think Alexia Smith and Van Timmeren both got their hands on that ball.
UVA pulls within 2, and the crowd coming alive inside JPJ. JoJo Lacey will quiet the crowd momentarily.
Big bucket. Good job by Boston College to attack towards the side where their best shooter is. Draws a little defense and kick out to your best three-point shooter in JoJo Lacey.
Good ball movement here. Kaydan Lawson for 3. Too strong. Brunel with the offensive rebound. Putback's no good. And a tie-up for the loose ball. Possession arrow points to Virginia.
It's a great rebound by Sam Brunel. And on this play, that was all Alexia Smith. I take it back. I thought Van Timmeren got her hand on a little more, but Alexia Smith tapping it back in, that is so hard to do, Sam. That is very difficult to do.
Possession arrow actually points to Boston College off the jump ball, so BC basketball. Allie Van Timmeren on the post move had that one rejected by Clarkson.
Clarkson has given Virginia some very good minutes today off the bench. They need different players to contribute, and Clarkson, but on both ends, she has 7 points, but she's also doing a good job inside defensively.
Little high-low action there. Step through, and a travel for Allie Van Timmeren.
And you're seeing a little more Van Timmeren right now because Maria Gakdang has those 2 fouls. And I think Coach Mack just doesn't want to risk it. There's only a minute and a half left. You have a 5-point lead. There's no point in having Maria Gakdang out there right now. You want to save her for the second half with those fouls.
Whistle underneath. It's going to stay here. That's going to go against Dontavia Waggoner, and you saw Joanna Burnaby-McNamee can't believe the call.
This was a little bit of a late whistle, and to me, that's a no call. I think both players just got a little tangled up, but I didn't see an explicit hook and hold. I didn't see anything like that, so I can see why Coach Mack is a little frustrated. Almost, if anything, give a double foul, but I just don't think a foul was really present on that play.
That's the second on Dontavia Waggoner, so you got 2 on Gakdang, 2 on Waggoner. This has not been the second quarter for Boston College. It has been the second quarter for UVA, who have taken some of the mistakes and missed shots from Boston College and turned it into offense.
And that's why Coach Mack is even more frustrated, just because that's Dontavia Waggoner's second foul. So now you're going into the second half with your 2 best players, Gakdang and Waggoner, both with 2 fouls, and you won't see either of them, I don't imagine, in the final part of this second quarter.
Taina Mayer. Foul going against Clarkson. Or no, they turned that the other way.
London Clarkson has drawn some fouls in this first half. She has been, besides Cam Taylor, the most important player on the floor for Virginia in this second quarter. Look at those numbers. She's been so active, Sam, on both ends.
Clarkson has already taken 7 free throws in the game. She's 7 for 7.
And that does 2 things. First of all, you score from the free throw line. That's important. But she's putting pressure on BC by causing these fouls. That's something that I don't think we talk about enough. When you are able to draw fouls, yes, you get to the line, but you do so much more because you affect the lineup and just so many other things for the other team.
University of Virginia within 1. London Clarkson leading the way, a perfect 9 for 9 from the free throw line. She's got 11 points. Good look to Van Timmeren, who puts it up and in under a minute to play in the first half.
Great pass by Daly. Drew the defense and found her post player.
Lawson kind of lost in midair there. Tough pass. Daly able to control it. Looking for an open lane. Can't finish at the rim. Well, virtually no difference between the shot clock and the game clock here. Lexia Smith setting up this last play. 10 seconds to go. High ball screen. Into the corner. Lawson with the crossover. Puts up a baseline jumper. It will not go, but the fight from Virginia was there in the second quarter, Kelly. 28-25.
Virginia claws their way back into this game. We've got some foul trouble issues. I think it's going to be a very interesting second half, Sam.
Going to be a very interesting third and fourth quarter here in Charlottesville. In the meantime, we will send you up to our friends in Bristol. Three-point shooting team in the conference, but just 2 made threes in the first half. UVA finished really strong, 10-5 run to end the first half. We'll see what this third quarter has in store for us. Thanks for joining us on this packed Sunday of ACC women's basketball on the ACC network. Talk about what Duke has been doing, Kelly, at the top of the ACC standings, 5-0. They play Georgia Tech today at 4 o'clock on the ACC network. And, of course, you got number 11 NC State, number 22 UNC coming up at 3:30 on ESPN.
Sundays are for women's hoops, especially as we get into this time of year in January, February, March. There's always going to be great games on. In the ACC, you literally will have a ranked versus ranked matchup every single Thursday and Sunday. That's how this league works. It's just incredible.
Daly gets a paint touch, recycled back out. Back inside, Maria Gakding had a good first half, 5 points, but does have those 2 fouls.
And that's a good look. I like how quickly she released that shot. Didn't really give the defense time to set, but couldn't knock it down. And we've talked about Boston College and their ability to get to the free throw line, but they only attempted 6 free throws in the first half to UVA's 9. Now, every single free throw attempted was by London Clarkson for Virginia, which is a crazy stat.
You also mentioned the offensive rebounds, too. Virginia scored 13 of its 25 points off second chance opportunities. The 8-0 boards were big. Back into that 2-3 zone. What's the best way for Boston College to attack this zone? Is it doing just that, getting it into the high-low?
Right there, getting the ball to that high post area and looking for Maria Gakding. But you got to make good decisions there. Sometimes I think teams feel the pressure the second you get the ball in the high post. You got to look low. But you can get the ball in the high post and reverse it and then go back to the high post. As many ball reversals as you can get against a zone is what you want. But I just feel like teams feel the pressure the first time they get it into the high post to make something happen. And you don't necessarily have to do that.
Taina Mayer on the break. Pulls up short of the basket, off the back iron. Falls down, and now we got bodies in the backcourt.
Good to see Mayer get back up. She's had a few chances in transition where she hasn't been able to capitalize. She did in the first half, but a few chances since then where BC could really use those buckets.
3 turnovers in the first 3 possessions for UVA here to start the third quarter. They struggled in the first quarter, keeping hold of the ball. Did much better in the second, as Taina Mayer will check out. So will Carol Miller for UVA. Cam Taylor fell down there, coming in off the inbounds.
That's a good no call. I think Cam Taylor just lost her footing. I would have hated to see them call a third foul on Gakding in that situation, but good job by Virginia. Attack the paint. I think that was Alexia Smith. Attack the paint, and look for Cam Taylor, who's able to lay it in easily. That was Dontavia, actually. Excuse me, Dontavia with the assist.
Free throw line jumper, too strong for Waggoner. Lacey with the follow. That won't fall, but here's JoJo Lacey again, getting it back out. Gets the ball back and fires from three. Another offensive rebound, and Waggoner finally finishes. Dontavia Waggoner now with 9.
3 offensive rebounds for BC just on that possession. And a great block by Maria Gakdang on the other side.
Second block of the game for Gakdang. Transition play opening up for both sides. We're going back and forth, and we're going UVA way.
And that's Dontavia drawing Gakdang over. Gakdang had to come help because Dontavia beat her man. And then Dontavia Waggoner just in great position to grab that offensive rebound and put the ball back up. And we mentioned the new hair, by the way, for Dontavia Waggoner. Going with the BC maroon. I mean, she is dedicated to BC and their colors. And she said, hey, I'm going BC maroon. I like it.
Dontavia, very capable point guard and high ceiling for her. There's a travel on London Clarkson.
Vaughn is just a freshman. You can see some of that vision that she has that you can't teach at the point guard spot. You either have it or you don't. And she's made some plays so far in this third quarter that have been very impressive.
Was the 15th ranked point guard in her class, McDonald's All-American nominee Dontavia out of District Heights, Maryland. The whistle foul underneath the basket. It's going to stay here. It's going against McKenna Dale. Third foul on McKenna Dale. Touched out of bounds. All right, every Thursday night, 10 Eastern time, right after our women's basketball doubleheader, Nothing But Net crew will break down the night in the ACC, highlights and analysis of every women's game. Look ahead at the best games on the schedule in the coming week. It's coverage you can only get one place, right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN apps. You can watch anywhere, anytime. I like that headshot, Kelly.
I think that was my first one way back in the day, but I have to add Lexi Brown is also with us, the former Duke All-American, current WNBA player. We are still trying to get her headshot, her official ESPN headshot, so that's why she's not on there, but wanted to make sure that she is mentioned with Coach McGraw, Kelsey, and myself, so make sure y'all join us. We love doing that show every single Thursday night, the only hour-long women's basketball show on television, so join us.
A stare down from Kaydan Lawson there after she didn't like that.
And a good job by London Clarkson. Go grab her, calm her down a little bit. When you're the one that just took the contact, sometimes, you know, you can feel like that was unnecessary. But good job by Clarkson, who's a veteran player, a senior. Goes over, grabs Lawson, says, calm down, not worth it. Let's get to the free throw line.
Kaydan Lawson, of course, the younger sister of Danny Lawson, who played for the Cavaliers from 2018 to 2021. Waggoner will head to the bench for a quick breather. BC's had some trouble scoring.
They have, and that's a turnover right there. I think, again, first touch at the high post, they tried to force something. You don't need to force it on your first touch to the high post. Sometimes you're going to get a better look if you're able to reverse the ball and go back to the high post.
Cam Taylor right down the lane, gets fouled in the basket.
Strong move inside by Cam Taylor. She's very good at her size at putting the ball on the deck. This is nearly at the three-point line. 2 dribbles, goes right at Gakdang. And a tough finish inside by Cam Taylor.
Cam Taylor
third foul.
back better than ever. It certainly is. But Cam Taylor back better than ever right now, 2022. Played 12 games last year. We know the story. Mom Nicole passed away in October of 2021 after fighting cancer. Cam returned to campus, and following the memorial service. She played practice, but she admitted that she just wasn't really there mentally, needed to grieve properly. But she is back and in front of this loud crowd, and JPJ playing really well. Van Timmeren with the easy up and in for two. Boston College back on top.
And that was, even though it was short-lived, Virginia's first lead of the game. You could feel the crowd really getting excited about that lead. And I just love how Cam Taylor has played this game today. She's perfect from the field. She's 6 for 6. She only has 2 fouls. She hasn't really gotten in foul trouble. The last couple of games, she has struggled in the foul trouble category. And Coach Mock says we need Cam Taylor out there. She's got to be on the floor. So she has played a smart game defensively today to stay out of foul trouble. And when she stays out of foul trouble, she can be so valuable to this team.
Van Timmeren, open, corner 3. No good. Boston College 2 for 12 from long range today, and a jump ball underneath. Boston College basketball.
I'm feeling the urge to get out there and shoot a 3 because whew, the three-point shooting today, 2 for 12 for BC, as you said, 0 for 9 for UVA. These are the 2 worst three-point shooting teams in the league. So it's, you know, not exactly a shocker, but I just really feel the need to go make a 3 right now.
Kelly's going to lace him up and get out there, show him how it's done. Foul against Virginia here. Yeah, there it is, Kelly. Just kind of an exclamation point on your remark. 28% from beyond the arc for Boston College, 28 for Virginia. Last and 14th in the conference. So we'll see if that improves down the stretch. You got to imagine it might. Boston College with a 1-point lead here in the third quarter.
We are all in on the moment.
Inside John Paul Jones Arena, Sam Ravage, Kelly Gramlich with you. 32-31, BC out in front, but it has been the Cam Taylor show so far, KG.
It surely has. She's only taken 6 shots, but she's had a huge impact. She has yet to miss a field goal attempt. She's got 13 points. She's been great on the glass, showing off the mid-range as well, attacking the basket, getting that 3rd foul on Gakdang. I love the energy and the aggression that we've seen from Cam Taylor. And when you look at her numbers versus the rest of the team, I think you've got to try to get Cam Taylor a touch on every single possession. I know it can be harder to get the ball inside to a post player. That's why I personally always prefer to have your best player be a guard, because it's just easier to get them the ball. But if you're Virginia, what's stopping you from getting Cam Taylor a touch every single time down the floor?
Little full court pressure here. Cam Taylor, by the way, did pick up her 3rd foul before we went to break there. So she's on 3, but she's doing that.
Boom.
Hitting from the elbow right there. Cam Taylor leading the way, 15 points.
Get this woman the basketball.
Ball on the floor, picked up, now lost, but a foul committed by Allie Van Timmeren. And that's the other thing too, Kelly, when you talk about Cam Taylor, is it can be tough at times to get the ball to a post player in good positions, right? But Cam Taylor has the ability, we've seen it already in this game, to go from the high post and take it herself down to the low post.
Exactly, and I would like to see her at the high post a little more, which I think Coach Mox has done a good job of. And it is tougher in general to get the ball to your post players against a zone. That's part of why teams play Virginia in zone, because they want to pack it in and keep the ball out of the hands of Cam Taylor. But when she's attacking the glass like she is, she's able to make an impact even if she doesn't get a first touch.
2 quick fouls on Van Timmeren, but that was just her 1st and 2nd. Team 4th.
Team 4th, though, so 1 more foul committed by Boston College, and Virginia will be shooting 2 free throws for the rest of the quarter.
Well, Allie Carmen has come into the game, has not played a whole lot this year. And a corner pass. 3 is hit, the first 3 made for Virginia here in this game.
Kaydan Lawson. Are loving it. They wanted a 3-pointer, Sam. They got a 3-pointer. That was an excellent pass by Yante Vaughn. We were talking about her vision earlier in this quarter, and she created that open look for Lawson.
Dontavia Waggoner has tried those shots this game, but 3 for 10 from the field. Offensive rebound. Cam Taylor from 18. Back iron. And a whistle staying here.
I want you to watch this pass from Dontavia. She is able, as a tougher angle, but she's able to elevate as she's going out of bounds and still get enough juice on that pass. One of the tougher passes in basketball, here we go, to make is that under the basket pass. It's very tough. You're being forced out of bounds. You most of the time have two people on you to make that pass and to hit Lawson right in her shooting pocket as well. That's difficult, and Dontavia is only a freshman.
London Clarkson, a career high 10 free throws, make it 11 for 11 on the game. Silly
She's just
stuff
putting on
from
a
London
shooting
Clarkson.
clinic.
Yeah, it's...
And Sam, you mentioned her season percentage. She came into this game shooting less than 50% from the free throw line.
A 7-0 run for Virginia, and the crowd behind them now. That's rebound number 10 for Kaydan Lawson. She takes it to the rack. Can't finish. Clarkson had it poked away. Ball on the floor. Two Virginia jerseys pick it up. And I think Cam Taylor got fouled going back up.
BC foul on number 30. And that's her second. Back in the game for BC.
Second foul on Tiana Todd. So Taylor to the free throw line.
Camryn Taylor, shooting 2.
Cam Taylor 2 for 2 from the free throw line today. We've seen some amazing fans across the ACC. We now need your help. This winter, the ACC Network wants to experience each sport from your perspective. So snap a pic, take a video, tag it with hashtag #AllTheDevotion. That is hashtag #AllTheDevotion, and post it on your social. You just might see it on the ACC Network. Largest lead of the game for Virginia, 40-33, a 9-0 run for the Hoos here in the third quarter. Waggoner takes it to the basket. You see her there not settle for that jump shot, KG.
Great decision by Dontavia Waggoner. Attack the rim. That's what Virginia has done with offensive rebounding. They've just been attacking the glass and putting BC in foul trouble. So now Dontavia Waggoner doing the same. And this is huge because that is Cam Taylor's 4th foul. That is very important. We still have a lot of basketball left in this game. How will Coach Mox handle this? Cam Taylor has done everything for you this afternoon, and you can see a little frustration on her face picking up that 4th foul.
That is huge. Cam Taylor, 17 points right now, leading the team. Clarkson, the only other player in double figures with 13 for Virginia, as Waggoner knocks down both. Dontavia Waggoner is the leading scorer for Boston College with 12 points in the game. Into the low post, Clarkson kicks it out. Lawson's hit 1 today, and she's hit 2.
Sometimes all it takes is for one to go down and the floodgates open up, and a good job by Lawson and Clarkson playing a little two-man game. Get the ball inside, kick it back out for a good look from 3.
Waggoner, too strong. Kaydan Lawson, leading rebounder of both sides with 12 rebounds in the game. Brunel for 1,000. Sam Brunel, 1,000 career points.
It has started raining threes in JPJ for Virginia. What a difference that can make, Sam.
Sam Brunel joins the 1K club here in her home state of Virginia. The transfer from Notre Dame, Kelly, coming in, knocking down the three-pointer, and it's UVA with an 11-point lead.
When you have auto glass damage, trust SafeLight. This dad and daughter were...
We all know this, and the 3-ball has allowed UVA to open up this quarter. Right here, they go inside out. Good two-man game. Lawson relocates to give Clarkson an easy look there to pass it back out to her. And then this time, Dontavia Waggoner gets caught on that screen for just a second. But that's all Sam Brunel needs. If you give her an inch, she's going to put that shot up and most likely make it. She's shooting over 40% from three. And the three-pointers, 3 made threes in the third quarter, have opened up this game for Virginia.
It's Dontavia Waggoner getting back in the scoring column. 14 points for her. But Sam Brunel just joining the 1,000 points club, the Virginia Gatorade Player of the Year, #1 high school recruit, coming back to the Commonwealth this year, transferring from Notre Dame. Kaydan Lawson.
Kaydan Lawson has had herself a game as well, quietly leading this team in rebounding with 12. She had a lot of great defensive rebounds and then has made some big shots in the third quarter.
9 of her 11 points have come in this third quarter. She's got a double-double with those 11 points and 12 rebounds. 5 to shoot for BC. Not sure Waggoner sees it. Mayer has to put up a long 3. I think it was deflected. And another great defensive set for the Hoos.
We talked so much about Virginia against BC's zone, but Boston College has struggled against this Virginia zone. Virginia started in man, but they switched to more zone in this third quarter, and it's been very effective.
Shot clock is off here as the third quarter winds down. Virginia has outscored Boston College 23-9 here in this third quarter. Can they extend it before the quarter ends? Inside, Cam Taylor. That's Clarkson, actually. It's waved off, and a travel is called.
I think that's a good call. She didn't jump stop cleanly, and that's why they called that. But Coach Mox knows that was such a great opportunity, and a good job by McKenna Dale. Defenders flew at her because she's a three-point shooter, and she did a good job of looking inside to Clarkson.
That's the 5th travel call against Virginia here today. So Boston College basketball with 3.1 to go. Well, miscommunication there. The shot is off in time, but it's missed by Kaydan Lawson, who had a heck of a third quarter here for UVA. A 17-4 run for the Hoos as we close the third quarter. The fourth quarter is coming up next on the ACC Network.
Running a food pantry can be a lot of work, but thankfully, I've got a lot of help.
Boston College 23-9. Kelly Gramlich, what are your opinions on how UVA has done it so far and just how great they have been in the last 10, 15 minutes of this game?
Well, the three ball has opened things up for Virginia, and they've been able to be more effective against this zone. Like right there, getting to the second level of the zone, which is something that Coach Mox was preaching to us when we talked to her before the game. And things just open up, Sam, when you have to respect the three-point line more. And now you get a one-on-one situation inside for London Clarkson. And even more importantly, the 4th foul on Maria Gakdang.
Clarkson is 12 for 12 at the free throw line. She can't miss.
That is incredible. And as we've said, you see it right there on your screen. 46% from the line coming into today.
Yeah, you got to imagine that average is going to skyrocket after this game is done. Tiana Todd well off the mark there. Again, playing in her first game since November 30th. So you got 4 fouls on Maria Gakdang. You got 4 on Cam Taylor, the 2 post players for these 2 squads. As Waggoner drives the lane, tough shot, well contested.
Sam, it just feels like Boston College is going to have to get something going from 3. Virginia's packing it in that zone. Obviously, Gakdang's not on the floor with those fouls, as you mentioned. The way that Virginia is playing offensively right now, you can't trade 2s for 3s. You're down 14. You got 9 minutes to go. it just feels like Boston College is going to have to hit a 3 or 2 to get back in this game.
3-second violation called on Virginia. Yeah, Boston College was 0 for 5 from long range in the third quarter, 1 for 6 in the second. On the game, they are 2 for 16. A little backdoor cut there by Waggoner. Again, tough shot. A lot of contact, no foul called. And now a whistle on the floor as Andrea Daly was fighting for the rebound. I think that's going against Yonta Vaughn. That's going to be her first. T. Mayer had the inbounds knocked away.
Virginia has gotten going on the offensive end, and it feels like it's added a little more intensity to their defense as well. Sometimes, Sam, it's easier to bring it a little more on the defensive end when you know you're scoring on the other end as well.
It's Allie Van Timmeren's third foul. Well, Coach Mack has a short bench, Kelly. I mean, normally they play 7. They've played 8 today with Allie Carmen getting into the game. She may have played 2 minutes, but they really rely on those 6, 7 players on this bench. And when you get foul trouble in there, that makes it a lot more complicated.
Exactly right. And I thought the depth issue would be more of a concern for Virginia coming into this game without Taylor Valladay and without Mir McLean. But Virginia has gotten some really good minutes from some of those depth pieces, like a Yonta Vaughn, who's been excellent.
A career high 16 points for London Clarkson. Cam Taylor with 17 points. And a 5-0 start to this fourth quarter for the Hoos. Wide open underneath, Van Timmeren. Excellent look by Mayer, but Van Timmeren can't finish.
That just kind of sums up this second half for Boston College. That was a great pass by Taina Mayer, the star freshman point guard for BC. And Van Timmeren just misses the layup. It's been that kind of second half for the Eagles.
Yonta Vaughn, what a pass!
I officially am falling in love with Yonta Vaughn's game. Officially, Sam. The way she has passed the ball today, true freshman, 5 assists, 1 turnover. She has been a catalyst for Virginia in the second half. Look at this pass with the left hand as well, and an easy finish. The Hoos are rolling.
Gatorade Fit.
What a second half it has been for Virginia as they lead at 55-37. Sam Ravitch, Kelly Gramlich on hand with you here. Look at the first half, scoring margin. Boston College led by 3. Second half, plus 21 UVA.
It has truly been a tale of 2 halves. And you can even go back to that first quarter. Boston College dominated the first quarter. It looked like BC was going to roll away with this thing. And it just shows basketball's a game of runs. You play 4 quarters for a reason. And Virginia is winning this second half by a 30-9 margin. That is dominance.
Yeah, Boston College has scored 9 points in the last 12.5 minutes of play. When you go back to scoring 9 points in the third quarter, and they have not scored yet here in this fourth quarter. Van Timmeren double teamed on the post. Good ball movement. Lacey splits a double team. 1 to shoot, shot clock violation, the second of the fourth quarter.
On that play, Sam, Boston College was just hesitant to shoot the 3. It felt like no one wanted to take it. And I said earlier, I feel like this team's going to have to make some 3s to get back in it. But Mayer has missed some today. You've seen JoJo Lacey go 2 for 6. It just felt like no one wanted to take that shot.
Good defense from Dontavia Waggoner there. Jump ball, possession arrow, Boston College. And we talked about the foul trouble, too, for BC. Even though Maria Gacting has only scored 5 points, it's just a different kind of offense when she's in the game. At least she attracts more attention.
She hasn't been able to stay on the floor. And That's also been an issue for Virginia and Cam Taylor, but the difference is London Clarkson. Clarkson has filled in at times for Taylor and has been dynamic, and BC just hasn't had anyone else that can come in and fill those shoes when your star post player gets in foul trouble.
The timeout was called by UVA and Coach Mox. 55-37 is our score. We'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Cracked windshield, make it easy. And
UVA in control right now. Some more full court pressure from Boston College, but you talk about how impressed you've been with Yonta Vaughn in this game. This has kind of been a breakout game for Yonta Vaughn, despite the fact that, well, she's only scored 2 points. She's got 5 assists.
We know that basketball is so much more than just scoring the rock in terms of making an impact off the bench. And Yonta Vaughn with the 5 assists and 1 turnover, with Taylor Valladay out indefinitely with a suspension, you knew that someone was going to have to step up at the point guard spot, and it's been the true freshman, number 5 in orange.
And one, Sam Brunell.
I love the emotion from Sam Brunell. She has always played with such passion, but you can tell playing in front of her hometown fans, it just means a little more to her. And that's a great finish, by the way, with the left. Getting the crowd fired up.
A crowd of 3,776 in attendance today to watch what has really been a team effort, I think, for UVA. Down those 2 players that we've talked about, and Mir McClain out and Valladay out. It has been a solid team effort for the Hoos today. Taken away, Dale, the open floor, and she extended the elbow.
Sam, I am not sure, and I know Dale extended the elbow here, but I am not sure we've seen a player called for a more random assortment of fouls than McKenna Dale today. Also, it didn't look like there was much contact there. I think that was a bit of an acting job by Andrea Daly, but McKenna Dale, I have never seen this assortment of fouls called on one player in a game.
Taken away, Dontavia Waggoner. Who else? Yonta Vaughn in the open floor.
And that's a good decision, too, Sam, to pull it out, to understand you've got a 21-point lead. There's no need to force anything right now.
Boston College has to make some shots here down the stretch. They want to make this close. Gakteng back in with 3 fouls. All right, every Thursday night, women's basketball takes over the ACC network. This week, Diamond Johnson, number 11, NC State, hosting Haley Cavender in Miami at 6 Eastern. Then, rivalry matchup between number 16 Duke, 15-1 right now, 5-0 in the ACC, the only undefeated team in the ACC. They take on number 22 North Carolina, led by Deja Kelly. Should be another great night of hoops in the ACC. Of course, you can watch on the ESPN app as well as the ACC network.
You can't ask for a better 1-2 punch of games right there with Miami and with Duke and North Carolina and NC State. That is going to be a great night. Can't wait to talk about those games. And how about UNC? They just had to come up here and face this very tough Virginia team. They escape with a win. They host NC State today, and then they host Duke next week. That middle pod of the ACC, Virginia, Virginia Tech, Duke, NC State, and North Carolina, they all play each other twice. That pod, that is the toughest scheduling pod I've ever seen in this league.
Play starting to open up here. Sam Brunell off the back iron. It looked good all the way through. Tiana Todd in the open floor puts it up and in. First points of the game for Tiana Todd.
And BC has to speed things up here. They've got to play with some pace. And remember, Sam, on Thursday night, when North Carolina came in here and won, Virginia dominated the game for most of the contest, but then North Carolina outscored Virginia 28-8 in the fourth quarter. a lot of that was pressure, applying pressure and forcing turnovers. So as much as this game may look like Virginia's in control, they have to be careful because turnovers down the stretch can lead to easy buckets and can make a game very uncomfortable.
Well, we talked about kind of the parity we've seen in ACC basketball so far. You look no further than this Boston College team in the week they just had last week. Here's the Thursday slate. And I know it's early, Kelly. I know it's early, but we love a little bubble talk. We love NCAA tournament talk.
I love it.
Is there a chance that we see 9 ACC teams in the NCAA tournament this year?
Yes. And the only thing that can keep 9 teams out is the ACC itself, because the league is so difficult that you're going to see teams continue to beat up on each other. For example, Virginia's got to go play Florida State and Notre Dame next on their schedule, which is just insane. But the level of competition in this league, I've never seen it this good. As we're seeing right now, Virginia has controlled this second half, but BC is not giving up. They're not going away, and this has to feel very uncomfortable for Coach Mox, because this is very similar to what happened to them against UNC.
And again, this is a spot where it would really help if you had a Taylor Valladay in handling the ball, which you're going to see a lot of full court pressure coming. Todd inside, Gacktang, no good. Gets her own rebound and gets fouled on the way back.
Virginia foul on 33, Sam Brunel. That's her second personal foul.
Second on Sam Brunel.
Checking in for Virginia, number 34, London Clarkson. She replaces Camryn Taylor. Also checking in for your
Sam, that's a great point about missing Valladay, who's out indefinitely at this point with the suspension. So you're missing your main ball handler. She's been your starting point guard for most of the year, and now you're asking a lot from some of these young players to handle the pressure.
Yeah, and we kind of saw this happen on Thursday, where the fourth quarter, UVA was outscored 28-8. They led 51-42 through quarters 1 through 3. Lawson, skip pass.
Good decision.
Alexia Smith takes it back out. Yep.
Good decision.
UVA not in any rush here. Clarkson thought about the mid-range. Back out to Vaughn with 5 to play. Offensive foul.
They called an offensive foul on Vaughn coming off that screen. Or no, okay, that had to have been on Clarkson. Yes, I would imagine that was on. Yeah, it was on Clarkson. Okay, that makes a little more sense, because I didn't think Vaughn did anything there.
So 14-point lead, still a 7-0 run for Boston College. They got the ball. There's still time to play here. Todd with a hook shot, in and out, but got fouled.
Free throw attempts are starting to pile up as well here. Virginia fouling BC multiple times on these last couple possessions, getting them to the line while the clock is stopped. That's not what you want when you're trying to maintain a lead.
Here's the other thing too, though, Kelly. Boston College, you said it earlier, has been one of the best in the conference at getting to the free throw line. The problem has been making free throws, as Todd goes 1 for 2.
They only shoot 67% as a team. They're shooting about 69% today, so right on their average.
That's a foul quickly as Clarkson went to the floor. Andrea Daly whistled for the foul. That's her second foul. Both teams in the bonus the rest of the way, too.
Exactly, and so if BC wants any hope of getting back in this game, they can't foul. You can't put Virginia at the free throw line when you're trying to claw back into this game, especially with how Virginia has shot free throws today.
Clarkson will not miss from the free throw line. 13
Sam,
for 13.
Don't say it, Sam. Oh no, now I'm worried. Look what you did.
I was scared there, too. I was scared. 14 for 14.
I never want to be the reason that a player misses a free throw.
It's like calling a no-hitter in baseball. You never want to say it. Dontavia Waggoner back up and in. 13-point lead and a quick turnover. JoJo Lacey takes it away. Diana Mayer for three. No good. Out of bounds. Staying with Boston College.
Returning for your Cavaliers, number 20, Camryn Taylor, replacing 33.
Sam, I don't think I've ever called a game where a player has gone 14 for 14 from the free throw line.
That's impressive.
And she was shooting 46% from the line coming into the game. I don't think we can say that enough. That is unbelievable. This is the best game that I've seen London Clarkson play, and her team needed her to do this. She has been just excellent this afternoon.
Looking inside to Maria Gakdang. Will stay with BC with 5 on the shot clock. Kelly, Boston College has got to make some threes here in the last 3 minutes.
They do. They're 0 for 7 in this second half and just 2 for 17 on the night.
Bad turnover there, but a foul as Dontavia Waggoner elevated. Looked like she got a lot of ball, but
she did. No easy buckets. That's what Dontavia Waggoner's saying, and I respect it. You don't, even though you're down 13, I get it, but you don't want to let anyone get an easy breakaway layup. If anything, that was a lot of ball, Sam. I'm not sure about the foul there, but I like how Waggoner's still playing hard and saying, I'm going to make you earn it at the free throw line.
Saw a little smile there for Alexia Smith when she was taking that second shot. Probably because UVA is 23 for 24 from the free throw line. You don't want to be the person to miss. Lacey had the three blocked. And a foul is called on Kaydan Lawson.
Well, that's one way to get 3 points. If you're Boston College, they've struggled to make threes, but getting fouled on a three, and yeah, that's a good call. You just flew at her, made some contact. That's going to be called every time by the official.
So JoJo Lacey has 3 shots at the free throw line. She's shooting 71% on the year. 1 for 2. You see the foul trouble here for UVA. 4 on Taylor and Lawson. He also got 3 on Clarkson. 2.5 to play, and Waggoner flies out for the foul. That's going to be number 4 on Dontavia Waggoner. And so Boston College has 4 players with 4 fouls. Waggoner, Van Timmeren, Gakdang, and Lacey, and Dontavia will head to the bench here.
Foul trouble all over the place, and on that possession, you'd rather have someone else go up and commit that foul than Dontavia Waggoner, for sure.
So that's 41 fouls committed between the two teams in this game. That's a lot of fouls, and Virginia continues to hit free throws. That's 25 of their 64 points have come from the free throw line. Daly, no good for 3. Just has not been the night for Boston College from three-point land. 2 for 18 on the afternoon.
BC foul number 30, Deanna Todd. That's her 3rd personal foul. At the line for your Cavaliers, number 23, Alexia Smith, shooting 2.
Do you think the players know, Kelly, how special of a night this has been from the free throw line? Do you think everybody knows?
You know, that's a good question, Sam. I'm trying to think of if I've ever had an experience like this where my team was 26 for 27. I can't say I have, but it feels like you can at least sense, okay, basically every one of my teammates that's gone to the line has not missed. So
Right.
I know we're shooting a pretty good percentage here. And like you said earlier, I don't want to be the one that goes up there and misses free throws when my team is 27 for 28.
And they've made their last 18 in a row.
You're just shooting in the gym, Sam. No big deal.
So a comfortable 16-point lead at this point. Boston College at one point brought it down to 13 and just could not bring it to single digits. Couldn't make a run here in this fourth quarter. Credit to UVA, who has played well here in this second half in containing and helping with the pressure too. But you look at the upcoming schedule. Not only the upcoming schedule, how about the schedule that they just played, Kelly? I mean, 3 ranked teams in the last 3 games, and now you go at Notre Dame there, at Syracuse is great. Florida State's going to be ranked at some point this year. Number 13, Virginia Tech and North Carolina. I mean, that's...
The schedule is bonkers, and Syracuse is a good team. That's a bubble team. So Florida State, I don't think there's any way they're not ranked on Monday, even if they lose today. You will have played 6 ranked teams out of 8 games in your league. 6 out of 8. I don't know if that has ever happened. I'm going to try to find out. But again, it just shows that middle pod, the way the ACC does their scheduling, with the 2 Virginia teams and then the 3 triangle teams. That is a brutal scheduling pod when you each have to play each other twice. But it's very possible, Sam, that all 5 of those teams make the NCAA tournament, which would just be crazy. And they'll just beat up on each other the whole time.
Right, and considering how difficult the schedule is going to be for Coach Mox and company, how big of a win is this for UVA as well against a Boston College team that just came off one of the best weeks in program history?
Exactly. You've got to win the games that you're supposed to win, especially at home. You've got to defend your home floor. If you're Virginia, I think the goal is to get to 8 or 9 ACC wins, and you feel like that can be enough to get you in the NCAA tournament. So it's games like these at home that are must wins. And that's what Virginia has done today.
Over 3,700 inside John Paul Jones Arena today. Get to see UVA pull off a win against Boston College with a final score of 66-50. And a team win in a game in which they made 27 of their 28 free throws. Have you ever seen anything like it, Kelly?
I have not. And you know what? Basketball can be a simple game. Attack the basket, get fouled, go to the free throw line where you can shoot shots without someone guarding you. And that's what Virginia did today. A really big win for the Hoos.